I'm Scott Al Miller. It's the 18th of March, 2023. This is my vlog of daily life in León, Nicaragua. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when you have a really tight itinerary and you're coming to Nicaragua as a tourist. We'll get to that right after the bump. On today's show, it's Saturday, first of all, and my day was just working around the house, really. I didn't go out. I was feeling very tired this whole week and wanted to get caught up on things and got a lot of work done on all of my YouTube shows, so that was fantastic. And being pressed for time makes for the perfect time to have the conversation about what do you do if you're coming to Nicaragua, probably for your first time. That's when this would make sense. And you're coming and you have a really limited amount of time and you want to do an itinerary that allows you to get a Nicaraguan feeling, yet you don't have time to travel around. You get to basically do one thing. You have maybe 2 or 3 days. It could be as many as 5 days, but you don't want to travel around, because if you do that on even a 5-day vacation, you're spending way too much of a percentage of your time in transit and probably adding some stress, when really you'd like to have a beautiful hotel, settle in, enjoy it, and get to know the one place that you're in. Great question. Let's do it. First of all, there's 2 major choices that are going to come up. One is, do you want to be at the beach and do the enclave thing? I guess it's really 3 questions. The first one is, are you really looking for the Nicaraguan beach experience? That is the Pacific Ocean and maybe surfing or just watching the sunsets over the water. This is how a lot of people coming to Central America pictured their vacations. If so, we're going to go one path. Or are you looking for more of a traditional Nicaraguan experience and you want something that's going to give you more of the famous colonial architecture and history and allow you to explore a little bit of Nicaragua itself rather than just beautiful locations within the country? Then we're going to go another path. Let's start with the beaches. If you're going to go to the beaches, you have again one of 2 choices effectively. One is, are you okay with an enclave? You're looking for something a little bit more upscale. You're looking for a greater variety of restaurants. You want more of a relaxing on the beach vacation, and you're not really looking for the Nicaragua experience as much as just a great experience in Nicaragua. If that's the case, and that's a lot of people, you're going to want to look at San Juan del Sur. Downsides: if you're coming in for 2 days, that's going to be too much of a pain. But if you're coming in for 5, it's going to be fantastic. First time I did a real trip to San Juan del Sur, I did almost a week, and that was really good. A week for it was my first time coming for a long time. It had been a long time since I was down, and I really enjoyed being able to relax there for almost an entire week. After a week, it does start to get a little bit old. There are only so many attractions and things to do, but there are a lot of restaurants. And if you're coming to drink and party and dance and sit on the beach and do those kinds of things, it's going to be a really great location and will keep you busy for several days. The downside to it is that it is several hours from the capital, so whether you're flying into Managua or flying into Liberia, Costa Rica, it's going to take you a few hours to get there, and you're going to need to arrange that. But it's very doable, and that would be my top pick if you're looking for that kind of thing. This is for people who are replacing a Cancun on their itinerary, for example, or we're looking at the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica and are looking for something just slightly different. That's going to be your perfect alternative. San Juan del Sur is your obvious choice, and probably more than anywhere else in the country, that's what people are looking for or talking about when they're coming from abroad. So consider that highly if you're looking for that relaxing vacation. If you want to hit the beach, but you don't want to do the enclave thing, you want a locals beach and really kind of get the Nicaragua experience while having a beach, then your option is going to be Ponaloya and Las Penitas, the beaches of León. Same kind of problem. León is a few hours from the airport. You're going to want to fly into Managua, not Liberia, because it doesn't fall in between. It's past Managua. So you're going to fly into Managua, and then you can take bus or taxi out to León. And the benefits there is that you do have the 2 beaches. First of all, so there's a good amount of beach. It has surf right there. At San Juan del Sur, you have to go surf on a neighboring beach. You can stay on the beach, or you can stay in León. It is the only part of the country that has the merged city and beach in the same spot. So it's unique for that, and would give you, if you're coming for like 5 days, you have a perfect opportunity to be able to do both beach and city, with a big colonial city, a lot of its own great culture and people and attractions of its own, like the cathedral and the Central Park and one of the best art museums in the region. León can be a great choice, and its beaches are excellent and quite a bit cheaper than going to San Juan del Sur. So Also, if you're looking for a budget beach experience, that's going to be your best choice. There are many great beaches in between, but they lack the infrastructure, especially for a short trip. Now, that's the lesser experience that you're looking for. Most people who are looking for that strong beach location, sorry for the sudden wind, we have a lot all of a sudden. I'm going to show the sky. It's got dark all of a sudden. This was very bright most of the day, but it's not real dark. That's some real clouds coming in, and it's causing some wind. We're not going to get rain or anything, but it is a little bit darker. Okay, most people coming to Nicaragua are not looking for the beach experience. As fantastic as it is, Nicaragua does have great beaches and a lot of them. It's not famous for its beach culture. Other than San Juan del Sur, it is the party beach in all of Central America. And that's pretty unbeatable. That's an experience that if you're coming for longer, you definitely should get. If you're looking for the more traditional Nicaraguan experience, the thing that makes what most people really think of, people who spend time studying Nicaragua and are looking to come and are really excited about it, typically are looking for a more colonial experience. Nicaragua being the colonial Central American country more than anywhere else. Both Granada and León are the first two Spanish cities established on the Spanish Main, so that makes it really special in a lot of ways. León has moved from its original location. Granada has not, although it was burned to the ground in the 1800s by American Marines, but it has since been rebuilt in place and is in its original location. So for most people, if you're on that tight itinerary, I'm going to recommend Granada, as most people do. So this is not a surprise answer if you know Nicaragua, but it's an important one to think about. If you're on that really tight itinerary, why Granada? What makes it special? Well, first of all, it is the oldest city. It beat León by a few hours. It has the most colonial, still standing structures, even though they're mostly recreations. It has some great history, museums, it has history tours, horse-drawn carriages, a beautiful lake waterfront, which you may say, but I prefer the ocean waterfront to the lake. Well, yes, the Pacific is probably overall cooler than Lago Nicaragua, but if you've never been to Nicaragua, you have to see Lago Nicaragua. There's nothing like it in the world. It's fantastic. If you can get out on the lake, even better. Granada has a volcano right there. So does León. Both of them are going to give you volcano options. León gives you can go out on the ocean. Granada gives you can go out on the lake. Seeing the granitas, the little islands of Granada, is a special thing that you can do there. That's an afternoon. Granada has far more restaurants and hotels. So if you're looking for places to stay and things to do other than tourist stuff, I mean, our restaurants and hotels are certainly touristy, but you know what I mean? Granada's going to give you a lot more to offer for that. It's also quite a bit smaller of a city. So basically everything you're going to want to do is within a small walking zone. In León, you're generally going to want to take taxis around, which is doable, not a problem. And getting to the beach in León, very much a taxi thing. But if you're anywhere within the tourist zone of Granada, you can walk to its waterfront and to almost all of its attractions. Neither of them can you walk to the volcanoes, things like that. So Granada really does. It has much more tourist infrastructure. It's much closer to things. Distance from the airport. Granada's like 45 minutes from the airport or less. León, 2 hours. San Juan del Sur, 3.5 hours, something like that. You're getting farther and farther. So Granada means you're just getting off the plane, zip right to Granada, and you're right on your vacation, right there. It's got so much to offer, and there's so many accommodations, not just places to stay, but activities for tourists, that it just makes it easy. It's the largest city that is really touristy, right? San Juan del Sur is more touristy, but it's very tiny. Granada just has more to do. If you stay long enough that Granada starts to be maybe not completely holding your interest, you're in great luck, because you can get to the wonderful city of Masaya, honestly, in like 10 minutes. There's a bus that goes there. That's really easy. Or you can take a taxi, or like I did, I just walked it. That is really handy. Masaya, now you probably want to take a taxi because that's walking to the outskirts. I didn't walk to the center of town. Masaya has its own attractions, including the wonderful market and a lot of things to do in the area. If you again want to do a little bit further afield, the Pueblos Blancos, or the white villages, also known as the witch villages, sit kind of in between the two cities, slightly to the south. And they have a lot of things to do. You can spend afternoons out there shopping for furniture or pottery, plants if you live here, and other artwork and handicrafts. It's great for that. And then there's also Laguna de Apoyo, which is the volcanic lake that overlooks Granada. That is absolutely fantastic and worth a day trip for sure. And then Masaya has its own volcano, Volcan Masaya, that you should go up and be able to peer directly into the open lava as it is continuously erupting. You've got 3 different volcanic experiences, all within about a 30-minute drive. You have 2 important cities that are very different. You have a number of small villages, and you're not far from the airport. You can put together a pretty exciting itinerary of a lot of really cool stuff without ever going far at all. If you end up there and you're like, wow, I did my 5 days, I'm going to stay a little bit longer, but I don't have a lot of extra time, you've got Managua right there, and you can just go do some Managua things, which can include really great restaurants, some shows, some shopping, seeing the waterfront, the Puerto Salvador, the Allende is absolutely fantastic, a lot of fun to go do. There's a lot of neat things you can do in Managua if you needed to add on just a little bit of time, just because you ended up with the right amount of time and you hadn't planned for it, your airplane gets stuck or something, delayed. So you have an awful lot around Granada. That kind of makes it the ultimate tight itinerary location in Nicaragua. And of course, seeing the cathedral in Granada is the #1 thing to see in the country. It's just beautiful on the plaza, and pretty much you can walk around. So yeah, that is, and we're going to get out and do some videos of Granada pretty soon, I hope. I haven't been there in many months, and it's time to get out there and hang out. Marcella used to live there, so she knows the city pretty well, and Dominica and I used to live there 8 years ago, so we know the city better than most other cities. Leon, obviously, we know the best. Managua at this point, we know about as well as Granada, but Granada is one of the ones we know. It's not like when I go to Esteli and I'm like, I'm just going to walk and explore. So I have very specific things to show you guys in Granada, and I think spending a few days there and doing some fun filming and walking around and showing neighborhoods and stuff would be fantastic. Last time I was there, I was with Brian, and we didn't have a lot of time to actually like walk around and film. We did some really cool stuff and had a lot of fun, but we were kind of doing our own thing, and I didn't get to do Barrio Walk. So I'd like to do that and show another city with a completely different ecosystem and culture and food and everything. For you guys, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I want to spend some time up there, and I miss it. You know, Leon is so much more of a city that I love for myself, but Granada is where we lived for a while, and it's what made us fall in love with Nicaragua, and our kids had a lot of history there, and just a lot happened. So I think it'd be fun to go spend some time there sometime in the near future. Anyway, that is my show for today. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. Get down there, check out my link, buymeacoffee.com/Scott Alan Miller. That comes directly to me and helps with all the expenses of the show and everything. And of course, I want you to get down in those comments. Let me know what you think. Is Granada what you would recommend? Is all the things that I said make sense? Is there somewhere else that people should be going that I didn't mention? Remember, this is just for a tight itinerary. I'm not saying other places aren't fantastic. It's not my first choice place to live or even to visit, but I would need more time, especially if I'm a first-time traveler. I think Granada is just, it's where you got to go and get your feet wet, and then from there, you know, there's so much to see. It's such a great. Well, that was an incredibly awkward place to have the camera cut out, but it did. Granada is a great place. There's so much to see and do in the area. If you're going to be on a tight itinerary, it is the place to go. Thanks for joining me. I will see all of you tomorrow.